Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when you realize something powerful, something that changes the way people treat you, listen to you, and respond to you. That moment is when you stop speaking just to be heard and start speaking to lead. You see, respect is not demanded, it's earned. And one of the fastest ways to earn respect is through your voice. Not just the sound of it, but the energy behind it, the message within it, the conviction that powers it. In every room you walk into, your voice introduces you before your words ever do. It tells people what you believe about yourself. It shows your confidence, your clarity, your presence. And the moment you learn to use your voice with purpose, with strength, with authenticity, everything changes. People stop interrupting you. They stop overlooking you. They stop underestimating you. Instead, they start listening. They start leaning in. They start following. Why? Because when you speak like a leader, people feel it, they respect it, and they remember it. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize the power they carry in their voice. They stay quiet when they should speak up. They doubt themselves, thinking someone else will say it better. They water down their message to be accepted. And in doing so, they give away their power. I'm here to tell you, it's time to take that power back. This isn't about being loud. It's not about being aggressive. It's about speaking from a place of certainty. It's about knowing that your voice matters and refusing to shrink it for the comfort of others. Speaking like a leader doesn't require a title. It doesn't require fame, followers, or a stage. It only requires one thing: you deciding to show up with purpose every time you open your mouth. Because leadership is not in the volume of your voice. It's in the value of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the way you speak shapes the way the world sees you. It determines how people treat you, how opportunities find you, and how far your influence reaches. The most respected people in this world aren't always the smartest or the most experienced. They're the ones who know how to communicate their vision with strength and clarity. So if you've ever felt overlooked, if you've ever felt like your words didn't matter, if you ever felt like your voice wasn't being heard, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you haven't yet stepped into your voice like a leader does. But that ends today. Because starting now, you're going to learn how to speak with power, with poise, with presence. You're going to learn how to speak like someone who knows who they are and what they stand for. You're going to learn how to speak like a leader. And when you do, respect will follow. There's something powerful about the way a true leader speaks. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's not about using big words or dominating conversations. Speaking like a leader is about presence, an energy that commands respect before you even finish your sentence. When a leader speaks, they don't beg for attention, they command it. Not with arrogance, but with clarity and confidence. They speak with purpose and people feel it. That's what earns respect, not the noise, not the ego, but the authentic power behind every word. The way you speak tells people everything they need to know about how you see yourself. If your words are full of doubt, if your tone is shaky, if your message is unclear, people sense that. And if you don't believe in your own words, why would anyone else? But when you speak with certainty, everything changes. Your words carry weight. Your voice becomes a tool of influence. Your presence becomes unforgettable. Leaders speak with intention. Every word has purpose. They don't talk to impress, they talk to impact. They don't just speak to be heard, they speak to move others into action. Now, let me tell you something important. Respect starts with how you respect yourself. And that self-respect shows in your voice, it shows in your posture, it shows in your choice of words. When you carry yourself like someone with value, the world responds accordingly. So stop shrinking your voice to make others comfortable. Stop second-guessing every word that comes out of your mouth. Stop thinking you need to speak faster or louder to prove yourself. True power is calm. True power is composed. And the most powerful people often speak the least. But when they do speak, every word hits hard. Speaking like a leader isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about speaking from a place of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and inner strength. It's about understanding your message and delivering it with conviction. The moment you start speaking like you mean it, people start listening. The moment you stop trying to sound like everyone else and start sounding like you, people pay attention. And here's the truth. You don't need a title to speak like a leader. You don't need a suit, a mic, or a crowd. Leadership begins in how you communicate with the world, one conversation at a time. Whether you're talking to one person or 1,000, speak like it matters. Speak like your words carry power, because they do. You train the world how to treat you, and that training starts with your voice. Speak like a leader, speak like someone who knows their worth. Because when you speak like a leader, people have no choice but to respect you. Confidence is built, not born. Let's be clear, no one is born a confident speaker. No one comes into this world knowing how to lead with their words. That confidence you admire in others, that powerful voice that grabs attention and earns respect, it was built, it was developed, it was earned through growth, discipline, and belief. So if you feel like your voice doesn't carry weight, if you feel like people talk over you or ignore your words, don't beat yourself up. Just recognize that confidence is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. Most people stay silent because they fear judgment, they fear rejection, they fear saying the wrong thing. But let me tell you something. You don't grow by staying silent. You grow by speaking up. Even when your voice shakes, you grow by expressing your truth, even if it's not popular. Speaking like a leader doesn't mean you always have the right answers. It means you're willing to step into the arena. It means you're willing to share your thoughts with courage and clarity. It means you're not afraid to own your voice. And how do you build that kind of voice? Through repetition, self-awareness, and belief. Start practicing how you speak. Pay attention to your tone, your pace, your energy. Are you rushing through your words because you want to get it over with? Are you speaking softly because you're afraid of being wrong? Or are you speaking with purpose because you know your words matter? Practice makes powerful. Every time you choose to speak up, you build strength. Every time you lead a conversation with poise, you build credibility. Every time you speak your truth instead of shrinking, you become more of a leader. But remember, confidence doesn't mean arrogance. A leader isn't someone who talks over others. They uplift others. A leader isn't someone who dominates conversations. They guide them. You build respect not just by what you say, but how you say it and why you say it. Speak from a place of value. Speak with the intent to uplift, to inspire, to guide. That's what makes your words powerful. That's what separates you from the noise. And here's the secret. Most people are waiting for permission to be great, but leaders don't wait. Leaders lead. Leaders speak first. They ask the tough questions. They offer bold ideas. They're not afraid to look foolish because they know growth comes through experience. If you want to be respected, you have to first respect the journey. You have to be willing to stumble in your speech so you can learn to stand strong in it. You have to trust yourself, even when you're nervous, because confidence isn't magic, it's muscle, and every time you use it, it grows. Speak like a leader, even if you don't feel like one yet. Because one day, your voice will be the one that gives others permission to rise. Influence comes from authenticity. You want to know what separates real leaders from pretenders? It's not how loud they speak. It's not the fancy vocabulary. It's not how polished their speech sounds. It's authenticity. Real influence doesn't come from trying to sound perfect. It comes from speaking the truth, your truth. It comes from being real, being vulnerable, and being bold enough to speak from the heart, not from a script. You don't have to be someone else to be respected. You don't have to mimic a famous speaker or imitate the voice of authority you heard growing up. You just need to be you, fully and unapologetically. That's where real power lives. When you speak like a leader, you're not just trying to impress people, you're trying to impact them. You're trying to shift their perspective, inspire action, or bring clarity. And you can't do that if you're hiding behind a mask. People are tired of fake. They're tired of the shallow motivational talk that sounds good but says nothing. They want real, they want raw, they want a voice that tells the truth even when it's uncomfortable. That's what earns respect. That's what makes people lean in and listen. So how do you lead with authenticity? First, speak from experience. People connect with stories. your journey, your struggles, your lessons. Those are your most powerful tools. Don't be afraid to share them. When people hear your truth, they see themselves in you, and that connection builds trust. Second, speak with purpose. Don't just talk to fill space. Say something that matters. Ask yourself, why am I saying this? What value does it bring? That kind of intentionality makes every word carry more weight. Third, stay grounded. A real leader doesn't chase validation. They speak because the message matters. They don't speak to be liked, they speak to lead. And because of that, people respect them more. You have to believe in what you say. You have to feel it in your gut. Because when your message comes from your soul, people don't just hear it, they feel it. And when people feel you, they follow you. That's the difference. When you speak like a leader, you don't try to dominate, you try to elevate. You speak in a way that brings light, not just attention. You speak in a way that challenges people to rise up, not just agree. And here's the most important thing. Leadership through speech is not about you, it's about what you leave in others. So speak to inspire, speak to uplift, speak to spark something powerful in the people listening. Because when your words come from a place of truth, strength and purpose, respect isn't something you ask for, it's something you naturally receive. Speak like a leader, speak like someone who knows their words can move mountains. Because when you do, people don't just hear you, they remember you. And most importantly, they respect you. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one truth you carry with you after everything you've heard today, let it be this. Your voice is your power. Not the voice that tries to please the crowd, not the voice that tries to sound like someone else, but the voice that comes from deep within, the one that speaks with truth, confidence, and purpose. You don't need permission to lead. You don't need a fancy title or a massive audience. What you need is the courage to own your message. The courage to speak even when your voice shakes. The courage to show up with strength and clarity every single time you open your mouth. Because that's how respect is earned. It's not earned by shouting louder than everyone else. It's not earned by using big words or complicated language. It's earned by being clear, being real, and being consistent. When you speak like a leader, people notice. When you carry yourself with confidence, even when you're still learning, people pay attention. When you express your truth with grace and strength, people respect you. And here's the thing, you're already more powerful than you think. You've already got a story worth telling. You've already got insight someone else needs to hear. But you've got to believe in your voice before the world does. You've got to believe that what you have to say matters, because it does. The journey to speaking like a leader isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up every day and choosing to speak with intention, with purpose, and with conviction. So from now on, no more shrinking to fit in. No more watering down your truth. No more waiting for someone else to say what needs to be said. It's your turn. Your turn to lead the room with your presence. Your turn to communicate with power and clarity. Your turn to earn respect, not by demanding it, but by becoming someone who naturally commands it. Start showing up in conversations with belief in your voice. Start walking into rooms like your words carry weight, because they do. Start speaking like someone who's not afraid to be seen, heard, and remembered. Because when you speak like a leader, people listen differently. They look at you differently. They respond to you differently. You change the energy in every space you enter, not by force, but by the undeniable presence of someone who knows their worth. Let the world hear the version of you that's no longer hiding. Let them hear the clarity in your voice. Let them feel the fire in your words. Because the moment you start speaking like a leader, you stop asking for respect and start receiving it. Final words. So go out there and lead with your voice. Not just in what you say, but in how you say it and why you say it. Because the world doesn't just need more noise. It needs more leaders. And when you speak like a leader, people don't just hear you, they respect you.